What's up, Jason? How you doing? Sorry, how you figuring this shit out? Give me a second. Uh, yeah, yeah. Somebody chatted. I think we're good. Is this for Rave? Yeah. What's up, Jason?
Okay.
Okay. All right. I am sending you the link. Yeah. Yeah. Did I know it would drop like that? I had an idea. I did not know for sure. Is my mic correct? No, let's go for my webcam. There we go. That audio should be better. Can you verify that? The audio better? I need to make. Yeah, I am, but it's not branded for me right now, so I need to make one. Yeah, it don't matter. Oh wait, I did update it. Yeah, it's at Real Wave Cipher. Yeah, but I need to remove these old tweets. Maybe don't shout me out yet. I mean, he literally tweeted out the bottom. What more could you want from someone? He really has, yeah. How do you? Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm getting rid of my old Solana shit. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright, who's in here? Let's see. What's up, Future? Oh shit, what's up, Alex? What's up, Smashy? I guess I can get his thing off the screen here. Boom. Alright. So, Alex, you probably think this is pretty cool, dude. So, Bitcoin Gold called the top, and Bitcoin Gold called the bottom, man. How cool is that? Like, I got this alert that I had set for this demand box, right here at oh yeah, at 1521. And if we look at the bottom on Bitcoin, or wait, there was another alert. Hold on. That was the first one. Oh yeah, the horizontal ray. When it actually got to the demand zone, 1556, and 1556 was like the literal bottom. That's pretty crazy. Like it tapped this demand block, like literally perfectly, and then yeah, went up. It's crazy, man, because I've been looking at Bitcoin Gold on the macro, and it's like it's way more reliable than Bitcoin USD. Like it called the bottom like over the summer. They weren't equal highs. It called this high, called this high, called this high, called this bottom with the order block, called this bottom with the demand. Like it's, I'm convinced, man. It's real. Yeah, definitely. Okay, sweet. Yeah. So if you want to share your screen, uh, you can go first. Yeah, let me get it. Get rid of my sidebar here. Okay, yeah, it's all yours.
Perfectly on that Q2 VWAP this morning.
Hey, Nick. I'm sorry, you got to start over. Now they can hear you.
Oh shit. Okay. Um, my bad. I was
My
like
bad,
ranting.
bro. My bad.
No problem. No problem. So we got to look at Fart Coin here, guys, because even though it's got a gross ass name, I love like the logic that happened here, and it respected the view up really well. Like a new month spawned, it's got this kind of bullish leapfrog, makes you think it's gonna go back up to the May view up, but it has to sweep the low first. So it swept this low and it tapped right on that Q2 VWAP. And when you zoom into the scalp timeframes and you analyze this interaction, look how perfect that was, man. Like you could have 25x Fartcoin long that shit. Absolutely crazy. So I think it was like right here where I hopped in, like right at this point, and I made 20% on the entire account. Exited because not gonna lie, bro, you kind of spooked me because you were right about everything else crashing. So I was like, oh shit, man, maybe this fart coin idea isn't as grand as I thought. And I don't blame you for that because you've saved my ass a number of times, bro. So you take the good with the bad because it's like different styles of traders in the Discord. But man, this thing kept going, man. That thing kept ripping.
Yeah,
If
I
I would
didn't
have
know.
stayed in that fart coin long, shit, man.
I didn't know that Fartcoin was literally the best store of value in crypto, which was proven today. So,
Yeah, who would have known, man?
unironically, the best store of value. Yeah, you could have
Who would have known, bro?
30% more Solana if you just swapped it all to Fartcoin today.
Yeah, and who knows if that's sustained? But looking at Bitcoin right now, because that's what people care about. Like what's going on right now. I mapped out some things for you guys. Like we have a lot of daily imbalances on this way up here. And then we've got this cluster of VWAP support like right in here, right? So this is like a powerful pivot point. If we can like repel this and go back up, that I could see that happening because we're approaching the VWAP from the low. Like see this VWAP, the green VWAP from the April low. We are approaching that zone. So this is like the relief rally kind of bounce kind of territory. And like another example of this happening was like what we saw in March. Like when we bounced off the summer low back in March, we got a really nice first we crashed below, but it was a really nice huge pump off that level. So like usually the VWAPs from major lows, you get a reaction there. So we are kind of at that point and we're right at the consequent encroachment of this imbalance here. So it's like right at the midpoint of that huge wick right there. We are kind of at that region. So not sure if it can bounce directly from here. If you have a case for that, I'd love to hear it. But I'd say if like it could bounce anywhere in this region here. So I'm like kind of bullish. Like I'm pretty bullish. I think there's going to be a reaction somewhere in here. So what do you think, man?
Yeah, what is that level you're talking about?
Which one?
The VWAP one.
This green VWAP, it's 99K. It's the VWAP from the low. So
99K.
usually the VWAP from the low is a strong reaction level. So like, and that's the closest VWAP that's like a major VWAP that we have that the price is even close to. Because right now the price is like in a void. It's not like when you clear all these drawings away. We're just in this void between the period based VWAPs. Like there's no monthly or quarterly or weekly VWAPs or anything that we're near right now. The only VWAP that's relevant that we are close to is like the VWAP from the low. We're kind of getting close to that.
Yeah, so I like that idea. Here, I'm going to switch over to my screen just for a second here. Um, and let me share that with you too so you can follow along here.
There's just no major VWAP backup on this immediate place that we're at now, even though it could be a low. I don't really have like the backup I'm looking for, man.
Okay, can you see my screen, bro?
Yeah, let me stop streaming.
Well, we can switch back maybe later, but so for like bounce levels, so right here where we are bouncing right now is the daily 50 EMA. So I would expect from here that we would bounce, at least like halfway up the vector candle here, which also happens to be like right where that previous spider line was, around like 103. I could see us definitely bouncing like that. I do like the direct tap of demand on gold, but I'm not convinced. What I would rather see is kind of in line with what you're talking about. So, like, these are the non-log spider lines. And once we lost this, I mean, let's go to the hourly. I mean,
Yeah, there's a
literally,
void.
as soon as we closed the candle below this, it was just like straight down. And like back over here, we fought this spider line, but we never closed below it on the 1 hour, and that's what was our base to kind of launch off of. So we kind of tested it again here, came up, directly retested, supply up here, came back down, broke out of the flag, and then closed below here and came down. Like, if we're not going to bottom on the 50 EMA, I see us, coming back up to test the spider line. If we reject here, this spider line down here is actually really nice. This is right at 95K, which 95K also happens to be.
That's the year-to-date VWAP.
Is it? Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Um, on the daily, 95K also happens to be, I believe, right. Yeah, in this little decision block that we left behind right here, this little demand zone. So if we did come down to mitigate this, which we have not mitigated since coming up, I would expect a pretty good reaction there. Where's the settings for this thing? That's fine. Okay. Yeah, so this is demands. So if we did come down here, I think it starts like 97, 98K. I could see us definitely, getting some market structure in here, coming down, knocking out all of the liquidity from these lows, coming down here, breaking market structure, and then that could lead us to a new high. Because the problem with bouncing from right here is that we didn't even crack 100K. And just like max pain wise, it seems like coming like right to $100,000, $400, like where you could literally 100x and your liquidation would be below 100K. It feels too easy. So like if we do go back up to the spider line, we're gonna build a lot more liquidity underneath 100K. So whenever we do come down and pierce the 100K, that would there'd be a lot of stop losses that could cascade us down towards the spider line. Now the problem is there's also, if we switch to log, which has actually been working better than non-log up here at least. Like it called the top and called the bottom. And you can see kind of like once we confirmed it as support, we pretty much went straight up to the next one. And I think that's true back here too. Yeah, once we rejected from this, we pretty much came straight down to this one. So if that's the case, I mean, that's down here at like 86K, which technically is a better level. Not that we have to go there, but because that aligns with where we broke out on the weekly. So if we came back
so you're
down,
looking pretty deep down potentially then.
potentially,
Like
yeah.
it's certain
I
things happen.
think
Okay.
I'm doing it level to level. So of course, like the daily 58 EMA we could definitely bounce from. But I mean, even if you look like the golden pockets right here at 88K, right? So where's the 0.5 at? 93, 382. So even just a 382 retrace would be 98K. Um, yeah, and we already broke. So we bounced off the 236. We already, yeah. So if we come up back up to around 103 and reject, I mean the next stop is definitely 98K to like 95. And then if we break that, I don't really think the point 0.5 would stop us. I think we'd probably go to the 88K.
Hmm. I like that, man. I personally, I don't think we're gonna go much lower than like the monthly May's open. Like, we'll erase all of May's gains potentially, but then after that, we've pulled a lot of averages, a lot of VWAPs, a lot of things up with this rally up. So like, it's like a strong uptrend. So I would like to think that it held, but obviously, like if we lost the year to date and the quarterly VWAP, like if quarter two suddenly became a bearish quarter from a VWAP perspective, like things could change on us. But
So
yeah,
this is one of the indicators I really like. So it uses like Fibonacci trend lines, and generally, like when you break out of this on the weekly, you come back and retest it, and then you're gone. It didn't happen in 30K because there's just so many buyers we didn't retest it. For example, up here, we got above it, couldn't hold it, came back down. We got above it, held it for 2 weeks, and then blasted off. And that retest level also happens to be at 98K, exactly where the weekly 13 EMA is as well. And we just violated the 5 EMA. So, I mean, I think if this week can close back above, what is that, like 103, then I think we can actually go up from here. But if we don't, then I mean, I think coming back to retest the trend line from the breakout, I agree with you. I don't think we necessarily need to go any lower than that. Because if we did, it's likely we're probably going to the 84. So yeah, I think
mhm.
I'd say that about 30% chance we already bottomed, and like the rest of it is we're heading out to like 98, 95. But I'll switch back over to your screen and we can look at some VWAP levels here.
Okay. It's kind of very like a very similar read, man, because like you were talking about, if we reclaimed 103, we go bullish again, especially if it's quick. Like if we reclaim the May VWAP, that obviously dispels the idea that the May VWAP is bearish. Like it dispels that sell in May goblin. Like if there's like a bear on Twitter, like I was right all along, fuck you guys. Like he gets silenced if we come back up over like 103, 104K. Um, but you know, we're in a little void, and so it's like you said, man. I could see us coming down to like 98, 99. That VWAP from the low, right? That's a common bullish bounce point. Um, but if that is lost, perhaps we get volatile here, guys. What if like there's a wick down and we test the year to date, we test the Q2, but it gets bought up and we end up kind of just trading around 98, 99, right? So like I'm always kind of looking for something like that to happen. Um, but it's like you said, like if this critical support level here is like lost, this kind of like pivot point between these two VWAPs, like if we fall below 96K, we may be rotating down. And so like when I replace that VWAP from the low here, we could get a full retrace down to the bottom side of this VWAP band, which is around that 90K level you were talking about, lower targets and stuff. So like there's a lot of like imbalances in the chart. Like this stretch right here is like terrible price action. So if for some reason we did flip quarter two bearish around the turn of next year, that's not necessarily the end of the world, because then quarter three happens and now we're below the Q2 VWAP, and the new quarter three VWAP sends us bullish again, because it would like we would just ride that up. So it's I'm not really like overall concerned overall, but there's obviously like a deep cut going on right now, and it's got to react probably off that VWAP from the low. Looking at Market Cipher, real quick, then I'll get out your guys' hair. The daily money flow is still strong. This is like an interesting read because Rarely do you get one blob. Usually there's like another spike wave, right? And like look here, like this is like a weak wave, but the price action is stronger. That's like typically what you see with Market Cipher is you'll get like a weaker wave, but a quite a strong reaction. So I'm expecting the relief rally bounce somewhere soon. Maybe not now, but that's the daily. And the weekly, unfortunately, looks a little concerning. This is like kind of a nascent red dot forming here. So if you're leading with it, you're bearish right now because this hasn't really confirmed yet. But I don't know. Sometimes in an uptrend, it does kind of dot out. I've seen like it depends, man. It usually shows. See, when the red dot
Oh
forms, there
yeah.
is a sell off there. So perhaps what this weekly pinching is telling us is there's like a large wick coming, but ultimately we'll probably settle back around 98, 99K, that view out from the low and kind of just float back up. Maybe I don't know, man. But
So
that's about all I got for you guys. So
yeah, in your opinion, if we lose like that year-to-date VWAP at 95, does that like
this
does that
shit,
make
yeah.
us bearish or like what do you see for that?
Actually, like, yeah, because well, it depends on the timing of everything. Because the new July VWAP, like, I'll put a vertical line on it. So June is like the last month of this quarter. It's crazy that this year's flying by so quick. But the next monthly VWAP is a quarterly VWAP. So what could happen? Let's say we have like a really shitty full-on rotation to the downside, and we clear all these imbalances, and it's not looking pretty. You know, we bottom around here, and then look, we've got a July Q3 VWAP that forms, and we've got these other VWAPs overhead, right? That gives you like a pretty good like shot at a bottom right there, like another quarterly bottom. Now on the flip side, though, like if we somehow go super bullish and go higher, and then Q3 hits, that VWAP could be a death gong, and we go back to these levels here. So depending on how the trend plays out here for this month, depending on how June plays out, sets up a lot of ideas going into quarter three. So I'm not like super duper emotionally invested in like the things happening now because there are like big setups like metastasizing. So I wouldn't get too emotional, man. But also at the same time, we don't know how bad the Trump Elon shit's gonna get. We don't know if it'll blow over and everyone forgets about it tomorrow because something different happens, or if like I don't know, who knows, man. But yeah, how's the chat doing here?
Looks like someone wants to know about the gold chart. So you have to divide that yourself. So you just do like Bitcoin USD divided by gold or whatever the ticker is for gold. Another blue hash print. I don't know what that is. Is that green dot on the monthly still? Did that print last month, or was that supposed to print this month?
It depends on the chart, man. But right now, it's like clinging to life. It's still alive on the BTC USD.P chart on Bybit. It is clinging to life. It was confirmed last month on this chart, so it is real.
On which chart?
BTC USD.P.
Okay, let's see. So if we go to the monthly, oh yeah, and it looks like on hiking candles it still is confirming. Man, last month's candle looks really good on hiking ashy.
Mm-hmm. It does. Yeah. The thing is, though, a monthly candle can span a lot. A lot can happen. So a big wick down and then a sharp run up, perhaps, and then we keep this bullish momentum. And that's the kind of stuff that happens when you have a monthly momentum wave over the 60 line. Like it's obviously overbought, and you are going to see big sellers coming in a leading fashion, dumping the market like before you have a time to react. That's what happens when monthly waves are this high up. But at the same time, there's a lot of buying pressure, a lot of upwards momentum as well until that 60 line is lost.
Yeah, I'm noticing like the RSIs on the monthly are the highest they've ever been, and they're like pointed straight up.
Nightshade in the chat bringing up a weekly bear div. Take a look at that.
Yeah, yeah, there is let's see.
Yeah, it's a weak trigger wave, man. It's a weak uh, leading red dot. You're being like leading with that, calling that red dot. I like that. That's why I think it really could wick down to the year to date view op. It could wick down to like 95 and then get bought up. But I don't necessarily buy this trigger wave being a solo trigger wave. I think it's part of something bigger. But I could be wrong. If we lost the year to date in the Q2 VWAP and stuff like very quickly, like it would be hard not to be like bearish down there.
Yeah, I don't think we can really look at that until we know how this week ends because I mean, if this week ends up closing higher, it's not going to look like it's pinching as much. Like let's see. Like when we were at the all-time high back here or close to it back here, like 68K, or I guess it would be over here. Yeah, like 66K. I mean, we got it looked like the weekly was done for like 2 weeks, and then we kept going up. But I do think the problem that yeah, I agree with you because like if you go to MACD over here and you go to the weekly, like that looks terrible. I
Mm-hmm.
don't yeah. Like generally with these when you get these MACD shifts, like this last one, um, literally called the top. Well, the first top. And like back here,
It's a stark divergence as well. Like the bodies are definitely going higher, and that MACD's like definitely died off. And Market Cipher's weekly momentum is like that. It's like a very weak, small wave. It's under like a emaciated little like weak ass wave, man. For how big this move was, you'd think that weekly wave would be bigger, but it's tough to say if it's gonna pinch over or if it's just getting started. Depends on this weekly close, I think.
it looks
But
like very
there,
similar to this. No, because that wasn't divergent. I don't think.
so my brother's been like quite bullish, and even though he was like incorrect on like some longs with his copy trading group and stuff, he's where he's at for a reason, and like I know as a fact that like he's weighing like the monthly momentum. Just the fact that it's high doesn't matter if it's a green dot or a red dot or neutral or whatever, but like big time frame momentum waves like over like the 2 month for instance, like it's not pinched over, it's over the 60 line and like fanning to the upside right now. And so when there's a chance of like moonage and like we're overall VWAPs and stuff and like the big time frame momentum is like throbbing, then like things pumping is like a part of the like it's a part of the possibilities, you know? But
Oof.
ultimately like big moves require volume. Like if some news comes and makes it go the other way, it's like shit. But feel bad for my bro like losing that he like lost a couple calls, but he'll bounce back.
Yeah, yeah, he'll definitely bounce back. It happens. Can't catch them all, man. Is he still feeling bullish? Have you talked to him at all?
He's I haven't talked to him since like last night. dropped off some shit to him, and he had some gifts for me from Vegas. And he
Oh,
was
hell
in
yeah.
good spirits. I think he was just like trolling for engagement, but he did like lose some trades. He was probably like on tilt this morning, but he's okay, man. He's a pro.
Yeah, man, it's hard to say. It's hard to say, man. Like, I mean, we definitely could see some relief here. I mean, we just have to play it level to level. Like, the levels are clear, you know? See if we can, if the daily can come back up, reclaim this spider line, get above these MAs again, then I don't think it really matters what the oscillators are saying. I mean, I think we're going back up. And it kind of goes with, like, what you were saying before about, like, your plan for the end of the quarter, right? Where, like, if we could SFP this high, and
Hmm.
then that quarterly VWAP comes out, and then we come back to that year to date.
Hmm.
Um, if we test that year to date now, like in terms of leapfrog, that would be bullish for next quarter, right? Because we wouldn't need to come back to it. Is that how it works, yeah?
Yeah, like if we got a healthy retracement now in June, then the July VWAP, I would anticipate that bailing us out. And if not that, I mean, if July, if Q3 is a sideways quarter, then Q4 would come. But it's like the last year of a 4-year cycle. So like after like a black swan crazy like news cycle of like people freaking out, I was kind of free. I woke up today like late, was catching up on the news, and I was like flopping and groping. Like what the heck? I felt the same floppy gropiness as the literal bottom back in April. So there's a lot of fear going on right now. So I kind of feel like a medium term bottom is imminent, even though yeah, I mean, personally, I don't think we necessarily like all this month all the like the last 2 months I've thought that we don't have to go back to that Q2 VWAP down at like 96.8 right now. That's the April VWAP that like we never got a retest of. And it's like not until a new quarter comes by that we may want to go down there. So if things bounce soon and we don't go down there, then that kind of means like maybe in quarter three we do. So it depends on how June plays out, bro. But it's
Yeah.
a big idea. It's an idea that guides like our Discord community and the way we trade for like a long period of time. Just like how in March and April, I was anticipating us going back to Q1's VWAP the year to date, and we did end up going there and then surpassing it. So yeah, it's like another big wave, another big undulation coming at us this year.
Um, yeah, so I'm looking at Coinbase here, and I'm noticing something that I didn't notice before. Um, on Coinbase, we actually just SFP'd the daily low, and we're sitting on top of a spider line.
Yeah, I mean, we took out like all the lows from like the May pumps. We haven't taken the May open though. If we tested the May open, we would go down to the year to date. Like if we just erased all of May's gains, and since we lost the May VWAP, that's kind of what's being suggested. But we'll see. All
Yeah,
right,
man.
man. I'm freaking starving, bro. I got a steak warming up. So my steak's all warming up. Got a sirloin. So I'm gonna go cook some food.
All right, man.
Thanks
Well,
for
thanks
having
for
me, man.
coming on. Appreciate you. And we're just going to recap the day. So sounds good, man.
Okay. If you're still in here, guys, like the stream for Wave Cipher, man. I popped in because he's been super helpful in the Discord. He's been putting out good trade ideas, and just spreading like a wealth of knowledge within our group. So give him a follow, show him some support, follow him on Twitter, and you guys have a good one.
Yeah. So Eddie, you just do like BTC, like whatever chart that you use, right? So if you use like Bybit BTC USD.p or whatever, and then whatever gold is, oh yeah, AU. So, and then if you want to use like gold futures or whatever, I don't know if I trust that. We'll just do like regular gold. Yeah, and then this will give you the chart, right? And what I like to do is I like to do Bitcoin USD divided by gold times 100, because yeah, otherwise it gives you like way better numbers over here on the side, because otherwise you just get like 30, like you just get single digits, so it's a lot harder to chart. But yeah, that's all you do. Just type in BTC USD and then divide it by gold. And I mean, when we broke structure bullishly, that called the run up. When we broke structure bearishly, it called the drop. We just bounced off. Demand to the exact dollar at the exact bottom on gold. Have we broken this yet? I think that was, where's the 5-minute high at? Shoot, up here. Yeah, so I would definitely set an alert like here on this chart, because if we do break this, then Bitcoin Gold would be in a 5-minute uptrend. I believe right now it's in a 2-minute uptrend. Yeah, so this was when I told everyone it's probably a good idea to get long. We went up here. It looks like we 618 bounced. We 0.5. Yeah, so we came back 618 bounced, came up, break, and now we broke structure again. So confirmed uptrend on the 2-minute. But what I really want to talk about is Coinbase. So looking at Coinbase, because I just saw this myself. So looking at Coinbase, so we don't, when we get on our way to this high, like we put in 2 bearish candles here, and then it was like 1, and then, you know, we didn't have any highs. So this would be your daily high on Coinbase, or daily low on Coinbase. And what we did today is we ran that low, and then we closed above it, and we actually closed on a spider line. Is it an original one or a? Yeah, so it's a spider line from this cycle. The same one that gave us support back here. It looks like. Let me turn on log. Yeah, log looks the same as, let's see the original ones. Yeah, support at 90, 95, yeah, 85. Okay, so yeah, so anyway, so we ran the lows, closed above. I would say as long as we can hold this and not close below it, this is actually pretty bullish, because we took out everyone who has their stop losses down here. Let's look at some volume. Yeah, I mean, it's not even that many sellers. Yeah, it's only 1,000 Bitcoin sold, and we came down. What does let's see what perps, is that the same thing? Is that true on perps too? Yeah, it's actually true on perps too. Yeah, I like that. So we came down, we SFP'd the daily low, and now we're going back up. So I would not be surprised if we came, I mean, we're going to come up to around 103, like pretty much. And then I would not be surprised if we could actually run it up from here. Like retest the daily 50 SMA or EMA, because we had a bunch of FUD today too. Anyway, let me get on topic. So how to trade today, right? So let's go back. So This morning we were in this range. So we were bear flagging, right? And let's go to like the 15-minute. Okay. So this morning we pumped up before market open. And what I was looking at today when we pumped up was it was like the clearest short squeeze that I've ever seen. So if we look at the vectors back when we were coming up here, if you notice, if you ever see this, this is what a short squeeze looks like, right? Especially if it's news related. So like even back to this vector here, right? Or even, you know, this vector, we didn't recover this one either. So we just have this stream of vectors pushing us up, and we didn't recover a single one of them, right? We're just coming straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up. We get to the top, we get like a doji, and then if you didn't short up here, this red candle, like breaking down right on market open with volume, breaking down through the EMAs, I mean, you short that all day because you know that there's so much liquidity over here, right? You didn't necessarily know that it was going to go, you know, go all the way down, but you know that they're going to drop all of this. And when they came down, there wasn't any vectors on the way down, right? Until right here, which, I mean, where did they come back to, right? Right here, right? So there's no reason they recovered this. There's no reason for them to come back up here. So if you're short from up here, you don't really have any reason to close that short. And then let me go back to the EMAs here. Okay, get leapfrog out of here. Okay, so the second way you could have caught this trade is with the orb trade, right? So if you're looking at the orb, which is the first 15-minute candle, right? So we set the orb here. The next 5-minute candle closed aggressively below the orb, right? Like there's no wick on this candle, right? They sit it down. So another thing that was important is that the EMAs right here had crossed bearishly, right? Another indication that this is a short squeeze, right? Because whenever you have the EMAs cross bullishly, right? So like and for context, so the white line is the 20 EMA on the hour, and the yellow line is the 50. So whenever the 20 is above the 50, anytime that the price comes below it, you buy that, right? Because you're in an uptrend, right? Price comes below it, you buy it, right? Price comes below it, you buy it. And like if it comes way below it, you're just targeting a retest of the EMAs. But you get the point, right? So generally, whenever they're cross bearishly like this, the best entries that you're going to find is whenever the price comes above them, right? So they cross bearishly here. They come back up, retest it, you short that. Come back up, retest it, you short that. And then all of a sudden we come back up and boom, we just shoot up, right? So that's another indication that in order for these EMAs to turn bullish, like the price had so much work to do, right? Like it would have to go all the way up like this to pull those EMAs to cross, because they were crossed so bearishly, right? And if we go like right here, right? Like it's kind of similar. Like we got above it, short it, got above it, short it, hold it as support, and then pull it up to cross, right? And then you're bullish. Then you come back down, buy it, boom, off again, right? So something like that. But the second that you see that the price is not doing that, you short, because anything above these EMAs is going to be good value because you're in a downtrend and you're selling for above average price. And like, for example, when we look at what happened the last time we got a major drop, it did the exact same thing, right? So the last time we had a major drop, they crossed bearishly, came back up, short, comes down, come back up, short, comes down, holds it as support, comes back up, down, can't get above it, bear flag, comes down, they're really spread apart, comes up, down, short squeeze, boom, drop, right? So if you notice these look pretty much the exact same as how like these look, right? Like it got saved here, and then they tried to save it again, although really this was just a liquidity grab, and then down we go. So when you're in a downtrend, you want to make sure that you're watching for like when could the price go against me, right? Like if these, pardon me, hold on a second. Sorry, yeah. So if these EMAs are like cross bullishly, I'm not necessarily concerned that we're gonna get rugged, right? So I'm fine with taking longs, like down here or whatever. Like we took longs here, we took longs here. I believe we took longs here, right? This was because of a spider line, but I was concerned that it could keep going down. But um, okay, so let's talk about trend. Okay, so what did we do before we dropped? So if we go to the 1 hour time frame, when we start coming down here, man, I need a plain chart. Kraken. Just not that. Okay, I don't have any drawings. Okay, perfect. So let's get rid of the indicators here. All right. So when we come down from here, we change structure here, right? We break the lows. We should be watching our previous trend, which is this trend line here, right? And if we're watching this trend line, we see it break. Bulls try to defend it. They fail. They get above it. They try to defend it again. They hold it. They fail. They get above it. They hold it. It looks like we might be okay. Boom, slap into supply. Supply shock, boom, sends us down. Come back up for one more retest. Right here, rejected. As soon as we start getting rejected from this trend line, the most probable outcome, especially since we were in a bear flag, is to come down. Right? And I mean, if you're a pattern trader, right, you take a little line and you put it at the rejection or whatever. Where are we supposed to go? 98K, right? But I don't really put much weight on that. But right, but the point is, like, when you see us reject from the previous trend, the only logical place for us to go is down, right? Because we've lost the fight. Bulls are fighting to hold the trend. Bears win. Final battle, down, right? So now the question is, have we come down far enough, right? And I think all the stuff that Nick was saying earlier is valuable, like with the VWAPs and everything. I saw something cool when I was looking at his indicator here, because I have some custom VWAPs on. So yeah, so if you look at like where the like election VWAP is, and then the inauguration VWAP, there and the year to date, it's all in the same spot. It's all right here, like 95K, right? So if we came down here, I would expect a massive bounce from this area. But everyone is bearish right now, I promise you. And this is bullish. This is very bullish, right? So we have broken structure, or we have SFP the low. Everyone's super scared, right? So let's see. Let's take a look here. So this is our next fight. This is what you want to be looking at, right? So this would be like our sell level or supply. This would be our supply level, right? So we want to see if we can get accepted back into this range, right? There's going to be a lot of pressure at 103.7, but pretty much right here at 103. Now, the risk to reward taking a short there is going to be really good, right? So let's say that we come down to 86. It's like a 4 risk to reward. And what I would look for to take this would be probably, if you don't get a 30-minute, I'd look for a 15-minute bearish break of structure, like at least, right? So have we reclaimed 15? Man, our 15-minute high is up here. Oh man, okay. Let's see. That's wild. Okay, so we're gonna run into resistance around like 102.4. Interestingly, if we get above 102.4, let's go to the 5 minute here. So we have a 5 minute hike in structure high at that exact same area. So I would definitely set an alert here at 102.4 because generally the 5 minute external hike and breaks have like a 60% chance to break 15 minute structure, right? So if we come up here and we close like a hike and ashy candle above here and we, retest it, mitigate demand, whatever, and go up, we're likely to break that 15 minute structure. Man, our 15 minute high is all the way up here on hiking. That's crazy. Yeah, bulls have a lot of work to do. Let's see. Yeah, 103. Yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, this is pretty much your sell level right here. Yeah, that would be retesting the bottom of this range. So if Bitcoin manages to get above 104, that's when I would flip bullish. I'd flip bullish if we reclaim this spider line and hold it as support. Because that way we would have flipped 5 minute structure here. We would have flipped the 786 here. We would have broken out of this bullish breakout trend line and held it as support. So if tomorrow, we come up to fill the vectors and you see the price of like 104 or 104, and then we hold this spider line, I would think that we might have finished our ABC correction and we don't actually have to go lower. And that's only based on the SFP of the lows, right? Because we SFP the lows, we're still in an uptrend on the daily. And we're still in an uptrend on the weekly. We did SFP on the weekly, but we're still in an uptrend. Now, if we close a daily candle like this, then we're in a downtrend on the daily. And 95 would be our first stop, but to be honest with you, right here. We're probably coming right here. We're probably coming down to like 86. It's like the golden pocket. It's the decision block demand before we broke structure on the weekly. Yeah. Oh, I can move Chad over now. He's gone. Sorry, guys. Does anyone have any questions? Sorry. Let's see. Coin spot on the spider line. Nice trading day. How does it not get confusing? Okay, so I look at different charts for different things, right? So this is my market structure chart. So when I'm looking at this plain white chart, this is what I use for like swing trades, right? So like the Mudang trade, for example. Where is all of my stuff? Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, so like this is the chart that I use for like seeing that all of this is mitigated, seeing that we change structure on the daily, come back to demand, boom, up we go, right? Seeing that we come up into this order block, supply, we try to get above it, we can't, boom, come back down, right? This is what I use for like macro or like very scalping, like just based on market structure. This is based on my market structure chart, right? this I use to see what the market maker's doing, right? I mean, vector candles, they work, right? So, I mean, for example, they called the bottom, right? So if we go to the weekly and we just take, you know, or I guess you could say a fair value gap called the bottom or whatever you want to call it, but if we take like a 0.5 here, I mean, bam, 100x that, right? Called the bottom, right? So these things work, right? So this is also where I see like where the 50 EMA is and like where the smaller EMAs are, and like when I flip through this today and I see, oh, hey, look, price is on the 50 daily moving average. It's probably a good time to close my short, right? Because we're probably going to get some sort of retracement from here, especially because we closed above it, right? And the next EMA is up here like 103. So seeing that. Also, I was looking at halfway through this vector candle and, you know, $100,000. Where do we come to? Pretty dang close to that, right? So that's where I would expect a bounce, and we SFP'd there too. It's great. And then this one, this is my algo chart. So this just tells me, like, I look at this, like, I mainly use this for like reversals and stuff. So like if we're ranging, it'll tell me, I don't have to look at oscillators. It'll tell me like, hey, we're these purple dots are like oversold, right? It'll tell me like, hey, we're oversold and we're, you know, this standard deviation away from the EMAs and the VWAP, right? Generally we'll get rejected here, right? And so I use that as confluence for, hey, I should probably be looking for shorts here. Like I probably wouldn't want to take a long, like this morning, right? Like if we're up here in a standard deviation away from the mean, I'm probably not going to want to take a long. Like it probably would have worked out, right? I could have longed 105.8, got out at 106.5, but, or that wasn't even this morning. This morning we came right to it, but this day or whatever, right? I'd probably instead be looking at my MACD and be like, hey, okay, I'm waiting for this to flip. Okay, it flips here, right? It goes up, bearish divergence, and then I'd wait for the first red Heikin-Ashi candle, and I'd short that, stop loss above the high. Boom, right? And then I would have caught a short from like 106 to like 104.8, right? That's great. And then we come up here and we do the same thing. Heikin-Ashi flips, turns red, short it, stop loss above the high, and I think you could still be, yeah, you could still be in that short, which is what, excuse me, sorry, I got sick of the festival this weekend, which is what I did today, right? So, oh, well, the 5-minute works better. I didn't even realize on the 15-minute, but, like today, right? Like I had already looked at my vector chart, right? We went over earlier, and you see that there was, you know, this short squeeze. So I know that it has to come down. So it's just a matter of like, when is this going to come down? And that's what I use this for. The MACD starts flipping. I wait for the first red vector or red hiking candle. We actually got above the standard deviation bands. Short this, stop loss above the high, and I rode that all the way down to 100K. So I know it looks like I'm flipping through a lot, but this chart is just for liquidity. This shows me where the liquidity is. And we actually called this like amazing short here. Yeah, like off this order block right here. I think, yeah, it's a 23-1. I liked it because you can put your stop loss above the spider line. And anytime I can have a stop loss above or below a spider line, I'm like really happy about it. So yeah, so this short is targeting that next spider line at 95. Okay. Let's see. Look at coin. Didn't coin get added to like the S&P 500? Yeah, coin looks fine. Let's see. We got a gap fill down here. I mean, I anticipate that if Bitcoin comes down, it's gonna come fill this gap, right? 213. But it has to break this trend line first. So if it opens tomorrow, like below this trend line, if it opens here, comes up bearish retest, then yeah, I think come fill here, maybe here. But for right now, I mean, it's just holding the trend. Like this makes me feel better about Bitcoin actually. But that's I want to see the 12-hour, 4-hour. Ooh, interesting. When did that cross? Okay, so I assume that some of y'all know the strategy, like the moving average strategy. So we have the 50 cross the 200 right here, right? And the price has never gone under that until right now. And